Hello, everybody, and welcome to the webinar, the Women in Power webinar this evening. We are really looking forward to having our special guest today. She is known for having a lot of energy, so that will be, for everybody to listen in on and so on. Julie Tara, to tell you a little bit more about her, she's currently writing a book and has also studied to become a life coach. She's an angel card reader, and having always been interested in various types of exercising, etc., she is a personal trainer. She loves learning and growing, and to us, with also the Women in Power webinars, that's what Nikken is also all about. We grow, we learn, we have the humans being more, we have, the 5 pillars of health, and as I said, people want to be with people who are fun and full of energy.
That's so true. And
yeah.
And who could be better than Julie Tara to show us about energy, because that is what I think is full of energy. So Julie, are you with us?
I am here and delighted to be with you. Thanks so much for inviting me to be on. This is absolutely thrilling. And thanks both of you for doing this to help empower all the women in Nikken. It's very exciting.
Yeah, we think so too. And about energy, is like, I don't know how you do it, but even now over the phone, I can just feel your energy coming right all the way from the US all the way over to Denmark, where I'm located. So how do you do that? Where does all this energy come from?
Oh, that's a funny question. That's a great question. I hear that a lot when I'm on Skype calls and everything. People do say that a lot, that they do feel my energy coming through, and that isn't it. I don't exactly know really how that works. I think it comes from doing a lot of, I've been spending, over 30 years now working with energy in different ways. And so I think it's probably a composite of things. It's eating really well. I think that's hugely important for our energy. It's exercising every day. And I'm not actually a personal trainer, but I do go to personal training. And I just came from a Pilates class just a few minutes ago. And so I think, exercising every day, getting our bodies moving, our bodies love to move, and moving that energy through. I think meditation helps tremendously. Meditation and prayer work to open ourselves up to universal energy, because of course we are energy and we are nature and we are spirit. And so bringing that all through, allowing that to flow through us is probably the key components that I can think of. And obviously using all the Nikken technologies, having great sleep, great air, great water, all the components of nature that we need to live a very thriving life, because I'm really all about all of us having lives that thrive in all ways.
Yeah, and as you say, the products are energy products as well. We had another speaker on one of these calls talking about that, and I could guess that would be the same with you. If I put you in a box in an office somewhere, you probably wouldn't have the same energy in your voice telling me about something.
That's absolutely true, Charlotte. That's totally true. I think I would absolutely be like a little flower that would die without the sunlight if I was in an office. So that's why I love what we do. We get to create the lives we want and the way we want to live daily. So it's a very creative type of a business that we're in, and I love that, the art of living.
Exactly, and we also, before getting on this call, we talked about that you need to be true to yourself. And if I would to put you in an office, you wouldn't be true to yourself and your feelings and what you want to achieve.
Very much so. Very much so. I've always loved wildlife and wild animals, and I've always felt an identification with wildlife, particularly like the big tigers and the lions. And I just know I can't be caged, and nor can you. And wild hearts, we just can't be put in cages. We won't have it.
No, that's true. But it's still like now this is a women call, so all the women out there listening, and you men better listen in too. Why is it that we get ourselves in the position that we still get ourselves in that cage? Why do we allow ourselves to jump in that? Because nobody's forcing us, but it's still like, okay, I need to do this, I need to do that, and we'll just let the men go do their big important stuff, and we forget ourselves back in the cage, back in the kitchen, we said in the old days. Why is that, do you think?
Well, I think there's a tremendous amount of conditioning, and it's a conditioning that's been going on for hundreds of years. You know, that has put you know, women in a certain place, and I think, you know, it's so much in the culture, in so many different cultures, that we really have to fight our way out of that conditioning. We've got to really commit to releasing that conditioning that is that holds us back, and realize that, you know, men and women both are spiritual beings having a human experience. And yes, this time around we showed up in a feminine form, and good for us, and we have great gifts to bring through the feminine, but we are all a mixture of masculine and feminine energies, and we want to bring it all to bear into you know, creating a great life of service and contribution, because of course all human beings are the happiest when they are contributing to helping our world be a better place, which of course is why Nikken is such a phenomenal vehicle for that. So I think that we just learned things as children. You know, I don't know about you, but I was quite the tomboy. I loved climbing trees. You know, when I was really 4 years old, my favorite toy was, you know, a silver cowboy gun with cats in it, and I loved it. And when I went to school my first day and the teacher took the little silver gun away, I was mortified. You know, I was like, this is no fun. What's school about if I can't have my little, you know? And it was never about hurting, you know, the idea of hurting others was never there. It was just the fun of these kind of things, and archery, and doing things that, you know, girls traditionally maybe didn't do as much. And I was like, well, why not? Or, you know, science, and the joy of science, and studying science, and looking at people like Marie Curie and all these amazing women, Rachel Carson, the environmentalist, Jane Goodall, all these fantastic people, Diane Fossey, and what amazing work they did, and thinking, why, you know, why would anyone ever think that a woman wasn't as smart as a man? That's just a really sort of bizarre and very, very ignorant concept.
That's true. I like the tree climbing as well as a child, so yeah. But I also nowadays like the high heels, so we have a bit of both. But we all often hear that, oh, and we can see it in Nikken, that it's often, or mostly, the men on the stage. Is the men we hear about, is the men, always the men on top. We know that there are Royal Diamonds as women. We can see we have you right here, but still it's mainly the men that we always hear, and we say, oh, we need to step up. But why isn't that the women are struggling with the business?
I think that sometimes that they don't take themselves seriously, or they don't take the business seriously. You know, I love the business. I love the numbers. I love helping people go silver, gold, and platinum, and diamond. I mean, it's just such fun to co-create with other human beings, whether men or women. Nikken is about 70 to 75% women. So women are out there, and we love the products, we love the healthcare aspects, we love what we're offering people, and we do make the best networkers. We're brilliant at networking. We do it naturally, we've always done it, and we love it. We love connection, and of course network marketing is all about connection. So we have all the talents, all the gifts that we need to excel in a business like this. And I think it's just, it takes focus, it takes commitment, it takes really giving it your all and not getting distracted. Women are very good at multitasking. Although I have to admit, for myself, I'm not a fabulous multitasker. I like focusing in on one thing at a time and really going with it all the way. But most women are good multitaskers. We do multitask in a way in NiQen because we have many people that we're talking to at any given moment. Some are on the product, some aren't, some we're just introducing, some we've taken to previews and we're going the next step. So we do multitask in that respect. But I just think that women get scared about making a lot of money. I think that they often make a disconnect between being a spiritual person and being able to be a millionaire, you know, and they disconnect those two things, and that's a problem. We need to bring it together because, quite honestly, our world is crying out for leadership from women. You know, we have very strongly held values and we want to bring them forth, and we actually need to be making a lot more of the money in the world because people that make money have clout. People that make money can, you know, have influence. And so it's very important that we take it on and really take ourselves seriously, that we can and will be millionaires in this business. And not just talk about it, but actually go into action and create that.
Yeah, not be in the shadow of the man. And I like that you say that about the multitasking, because we just been to a big event in Stuttgart, and there was a women panel as well. And after all these great ladies told us about how they succeeded in NiQen, they talked about, but men, they are better in focusing, and the women are multitasking. I'm just like, yeah. You just forget something, because men, we allow them to focus on their job. We as a woman, we need, or I need, to have the house clean, I have the children, I also take care of the husband, the friends, the dinners, the parties, everything, and I also want to have a business. So I need to be able to multitasking. It's not okay if I say, oh no, I'm a straight businesswoman and you have to take care of the children. That's not how society looks at it.
Well, it may not be how society looks at it, and it is going to be, I mean, what I love about NiQen is you are your own boss, and you have free will, and you can design it how you want to design it. So, you know, I realized when I was still married that, you know, my talents in building a network were very strong, and so therefore I did say to my husband, I'm asking you to support through cooking more dinners when I'm out, you know, putting the children to bed sometimes when I'm not going to be there because I'm going to be out building a multi-million-dollar business. And that was actually fine, you know, and asking him to help clean up the house or so forth. And then I remember when I went gold, you know, then I decided I would have a house cleaner, and that was really helpful because my time was better spent building a business with NiQen than it was cleaning the house. So I made very, very clear determinations over how I was going to spend my time and where my time was most valuable.
Yeah, that's true. But
now,
I think that's also something they struggle with, the women, us women.
Yes, you know, but the beauty is that if you build the business strong and fast, then what the gorgeous part of it is that I never really had to sacrifice time with my children. I always was able to go to the baseball games. I was able to go to the singing concerts and the drama, you know, the plays that they would put on and so forth. So, and I would notice how few parents were at those kind of events, and I was at all of them. Because I really designed it, and I really want to go back to, you know, it was about designing the perfect life that I wanted, that allowed me to meet my desires and needs, which was number one, my children, because they were always first and foremost, and, you know, obviously my own health, that, you know, I've been blessed with good health through taking care of myself very well over the years. And then, you know, and then really building the business, because that was what was going to get us out of the financial predicament that we were in. You know, so it's not true that just men can make money and women cannot, or anything like that. It's who you are, what are your gifts, and what you know, what is going to bring forth abundance into the life. And a lot of that is your spiritual mindset, and how you go about it, And obviously in our business, we are very focused on service. We focus on serving others, helping others, uplifting others, inspiring others, empowering others. And through doing that with the technologies we have and the business structure, then we receive a huge abundance as a reward, as a response, as a byproduct of our service in the world. So long as we keep it that way around, and not just putting money first, as in me, and money first for me, because that is not what the universe supports. The universe supports us being a contribution in the world, and then we will get paid very well for that.
Yeah, that's so true. And you said something interesting. You said the part of inspiring. We talked about that because often we hear, oh, I need to motivate my people. And actually you can't do that. So on the fly we also said how to inspire versus motivating. And how do you see that with your people, your team?
Well, you know, I always feel, and everything I've learned and studied in network marketing, you know, I've certainly read many books and been to many seminars, and you know, there's a couple of things. One is that what we do is extremely simple, and often we forget that simplicity. It's we use the products, we promote the products, we sponsor people. And some of them are going to be business builders, and they're going to promote, you know, do the same as we're doing. Use the products, promote the products, build, you know, and sponsor others. And others will never do that. They'll just use the products and enjoy them, and they'll never tell a soul about that. So remembering that simplicity, but I really think that it is incumbent upon each of us to become sovereign in our own lives, and that means really learning how to inspire ourselves and how to then lead by example. And that's I'm a huge believer in leading by example. I mean, I could talk about what needs to happen or what's a good idea or why to sponsor 21 seniors and above right off the bat, you know, to start building the width of your business, you know, but I can't make you do that, and I can't make you go into action. And it's not my job to be your boss, and I'm not really very interested in telling people what to do. It's just not an interesting thing for me. I don't like being told what to do, and I don't want to tell others what to do. So that's not what I do. I lead by example. I show people, you know, by consistently sponsoring new seniors and executives. I just sponsored a new executive yesterday and another new person 3 days ago. And I'm always sponsoring new people. And that's inspiring in and of itself. It's inspiring to me and inspiring to my team. I also think Humans Being More is, of course, a very obvious place where we go to get inspired, but we do need to inspire ourselves daily. So, you know, Humans Being More is critical because we connect into our life purpose and our mission. We connect into our hearts, what we're really about, what we're really here for, what we're really passionate about. And then we have to really connect into that every day ourselves, you know, through living our joy and checking, am I living in my joy? You know, if my life purpose is to experience joy and bliss, am I living that way in this moment today? And the more I live in my joy, the more I can create. And the more I can create with the universe, the more I attract people. And the more I attract people, the more I sponsor them. And then they sponsor others. And it has that beautiful duplicating effect. But I don't believe it's my job to motivate others. I don't. Because motivation is short-lived. You know, I've certainly heard motivational speakers, and they're fabulous and they're wonderful, and everybody's super excited for about 3 hours. They believe, oh, anything's possible. And then they go home, and the next morning they wake up to their life, and they go, oh, you know, they forget because it's an outside-in influence. But yeah. Inspiration is an inside-out influence. Inspiration is your internal connection to yourself. It's an internal connection to your definition of God or spirit or the universe. And that connection is where all the inspiration is bubbling forth from. And then we're like a fountain. We're bubbling forth with goodness and joy and love for our world and wanting to help make this world a better place. And it's easy to be inspired. It really is. It's just a choice. It's just a choice. And I'd say, honestly, for me, when I started, I decided very quickly, okay, there's a few things I'm going to stop. A few things I'm actually going to stop. One was TV. One film or movie. One was being around negative people. I was just going to stop it. So you know what? Some of the old friendships just went by the wayside because I thought this is just not inspiring to me. I'm not going to do that anymore. So I chose very carefully the things to cut out of my life and the things to bring into my life. And you know, I've never watched TV since, and I've been involved in Nikken for 19 years, and I don't miss it at all because it's a bunch of rubbish and it's a waste of time, and it's always giving you advertisements about silly, you know, drugs and so on and so forth, and it's just not a healthy thing. So who needs it? It's a waste. No. It's a waste. Let's get really clear about what we want to put into our minds. You know, we have the control to do that.
Yeah, and what you said is what we're willing to give up to get the life that we actually want. I really loved you saying that the inspiration have to come from inside and then out, so it's easy, because we all know the feeling having just been to an event or listening to this webinar or something, and it's just like, oh, tomorrow, now I'm ready, and then tomorrow it's raining, or the first phone call you make, it's not really that satisfying or something, and then everything, you forgot all the positive energy. And for me, it's also, we need to get out of the head and into the heart, and a lot of people say that even though it's not so far, it's the hardest step to take.
Yes, I've heard that. In fact, I heard that just the other day. I was at a Hay House event for 3 days, and somebody said the longest journey you'll ever make is the 18 inches between your head and your heart. And it was Greg Braden that said it, and it just really made me laugh, you know. Of course we use our mind. Of course we use our head. I think the key distinction for me anyway is that to make sure that my head, you know, and my mind is the servant of the heart and not the other way around. Not the heart in service and servant of the head, but the head as the servant of the heart. You know, who's got the reins? The heart. The heart leads. And if the heart leads, we will do good because we are goodness. We are born in goodness, and that is our innate truth. And so when we come from our truth, we are bringing, it's like bringing sunshine to the earth, you know. We're bringing our sunshine of goodness to the world, and we're being a blessing then to the world and to others. And, you know, if we just look at life in that way and we come from that place, the gorgeous thing about that is that, you know what, blessings will shower upon you because you're coming from being a blessing, not needing a blessing. It's like love. You know, if you're out there looking for love in your life and thinking, well, I don't have love and I need someone who's going to love me, you know, the chances are you're probably not going to find your perfect partner. But if you're coming from love, and you are love, and you know you're love, then you're bringing that sunshiny love out to the world. And you know that you're going to meet your right partner. It's just a matter of time sometimes, but it's going to happen, because how could it not happen? You're being your authentic self.
Again, be true to yourself, and know what you want. And when you know what you want, it's also your feelings. It's not the logic up in your head, I need to do. No, you have to feel what's right for you. And that can be difficult. It's not an easy way to go, these, what did you say, 18 inches. So now, what we also talked about was the fact that women, we, as you said, are good networkers, but it's also we need like a small community on our own. We need our tribe, to attract, to belong somewhere in this society. And I know you just told us you are good in attracting people. So how do we attract these tribes?
I think that's a wonderful question, actually. And I think, you know, the more we are authentic, the more we are true to ourselves, the better it goes. So, you know, I know if somebody says to me, well, this is a script you have to use, or don't talk about the products, just talk about the business. You know, that's just not me. And it's never going to be me. I've been a healer all my life. I love healing. I love energy medicine, and that's why I do Nikken. That's why I wouldn't do another network company, because Nikken has the most amazing technologies that bring people life back. So it's very, very wonderful. So the tribe part, I think that the way I do it is to go do the things I love to do. Just anything that I love to learn about, and I'm always so curious. I love to learn about just about everything, many things. So I go into those arenas. I went to a dream group for a while and helped a lot of people with the technologies there, and actually helped somebody go silver in that group. I go to yoga classes, and I meet gorgeous people at the yoga classes, and I've helped many people there with the technologies, and some of them have joined me in the business. Right now I'm doing this something called Higher Alignment. It's a very, very specific type of life coaching, and I'm loving it, and I'm meeting lots of wonderful new people there who are really conscious individuals who really want to grow, men and women both. And it's a fantastic community, and I've actually already have a silver from that group who's now moving toward gold. I just spawned the new executive I sponsored yesterday, has come from that group, and I just adore her. I just love her, and I know I'll be able to mentor her really well. And she's 38, the age I was when I started Nikken, so I'm super excited about that. So I think it's doing what you love, and exercise, personal training, all those kinds of things, going to the gym. I worked with people a lot at the gym, athletes. I've always been an athlete, so I love that part of life. So I love helping them, and I actually love working with athletes in the business because they very much know how to focus and go for what they want, and they're not ashamed to go for what they want. And that's a big thing for women, is just to go for what you want. Find your community, love the people, help them, educate them, and don't be bashful about going for what you want. I can remember my daughter saying one time, she said, "Mommy, you have what did she say, a glorious life," or something like that. She said, "You have a beautiful, glorious life." And I said, "Yes, darling, but I've designed it that way. I chose that. I said, I want a wonderful life." And so I think for women, we've got to, be willing to own that. Be willing to be victorious in our lives. Be willing to be magnificent in our lives, and stop being victims of circumstance. Because being a victim is so boring. It's just so boring, and it doesn't get us anywhere to be a victim.
No, and it's not fun. So
Not fun.
I really like that you said a while ago that this Nikken is not either business or products. It's both, and we have so much. Actually, we have like 5 different areas to go into, and you also told us that you love to be able to lending out products to people. And some people say, no, you shouldn't do that. They can buy them themselves and things like that. Why do you lend out the products to people?
Well, for me, it's been really a huge part of my success is to initially from the get-go get the products, get the demo packs, and get them out there. Do rollouts and lend the products. And the reason being that of course there are things you can buy at the shops, but you can't buy these technologies at the shops. We're too far advanced. We are the cutting edge of energy healthcare in the world, and nobody would understand our technologies if you had a pair of whatever M-Strides or a sleep system in the shop. You wouldn't buy it because you wouldn't know the power of it, and that's our job, is to educate. And so when you lend the products, you're educating the body. You're actually helping people get out of their minds and into their hearts and into their bodies so they can feel things. And that in and of itself is so compelling, because you are out of the equation then. You're just saying, you know what, try it and see what you notice. Let's see what happens for you in the next 7 to 10 days. And I lend a lot of product all the time: sleep systems, water, air, daytime products, seats, necklaces, and I'm very generous with my products, and I'm very generous with my business. I invest in the business generously, and I receive generously, because I am always treating my business with generosity. So, you know, lending is fantastic. And personally, if anybody told me don't lend products, I would just laugh and just say, well, that may work for you, but that's not my way. This is my way, because we're introducing new technologies. And if you go to buy something really, say you go to buy a Ferrari, or the other, I remember one time going into, actually to go look at an Aston Martin. And of course, you know, the first thing they do is put you in the car and turn the engine on and go for a test drive.
Yep.
Go for a test drive. Why do they tell you, let's go for a test drive? Because they want you to feel what it feels like to be in that car. And that's a very smart idea. And so this is what we do with our products. We're saying take them for a test drive. And you know, people are very, they're so grateful. They're so grateful that you've lent them $2,000 worth of product for 7 to 10 days, because where else are they going to get that kind of connection, generosity, and, you know, without any strings attached? I tell people, don't worry, you know, don't worry, you don't have to buy it, you know, just let's see. But I do a good demonstration first, and I do give a rollout first, and many magical things happen in a rollout. I'm a huge proponent of the rollouts. Rollouts and humans being more, training are the real keys to success. You know, and I think lending product is another huge key to success, you know. So this lady I'm sponsored yesterday as a new executive, she, you know, it's not like she has a lot of money floating around to become an executive with Nikken, but she's borrowed the products. She's had phenomenal results with the products. Even in my own home in the demonstration, she had amazing miracle with her ankle with the Power Mag. And now she's already got at least 6 people very interested in Nikken. And, she, you know, even before she became a consultant yesterday. And so we're going to meet some of these people now this week. And she's so excited, and she's taking a leap of faith, and she's getting these technologies, and she's going to get them out on people, just like me. And so it works. You know, that's just the bottom line is it works for me. If it doesn't work for you, don't do it. If it works for you, do it. It's your business. You have to find out what works for you and what you love to do. And I love lending products. Love it, love it, love it.
And that's also why we're doing this, to get different opinions, because we have different ways of doing it, and it's not that you really have to follow your upline. If you find Julie Tara's way more inspiring, then let's follow your lead, and that's what we really love, that we can get inspired from all kind of cross lines. And I was just wondering about if you were telling your newcomers to lend out the products, because a lot of people can be listening in and thinking, okay, yeah, you are a Royal Diamond, Julie, so you can easily say that you can just lend it out because the cash flow is coming in, but it won't in the beginning. But yeah, again, it's a choice you make. You decide where you start.
Well, here's the thing I think to remember. The basic semantics of the business, the basic point is when you decide to do this as a business, you're a marketer, right? You're a network marketer, and you're paid very, very highly to do what? To market the product and have the product be bought. You know, people need to buy it because we only get paid on commission only. So we get paid on the sale of products. So however you do that is how you do that. But really, your job is to sponsor seniors and executives consistently and help those who want it go to silver and gold and platinum and diamond and build those big teams, those big, deep legs of power. And that's what we're doing here. So we're building width and we're building depth. How you do that, how you sponsor your seniors and executives, that's up to you. That's the beauty of the creativity of the business. Don't hold back on your creativity. Use all of your creativity of how you connect with people. How do you listen to them? You know, what's your way? Find the way that works for you. And it's your business. Again, you have to take control of your business. Otherwise, if you just do what somebody else says, I'm not saying you should do what I do. This works for me. But if you do what someone else says and it doesn't work, then you're just going to blame them. Oh, well, I did it his way and it didn't work. Oh, well, I did it her way and it didn't work. You have to find your way. your way. And so long as you get the job done, in other words, the results, you go silver, you go gold, you go platinum, you go diamond by helping inspire and empower others, then you're winning and you're making money. And by the way, you can make money fast in Nikken. I know I did, and I was absolutely stony broke when I started. I didn't have any money. I was 3 months late in rent. My husband wasn't making any money. My children couldn't make money. They were too little. To me. And I got that. And I didn't want it to be that way. You know, I wanted the man to make the money. I was like, I loved being a mommy and I loved being with the kids, and I don't really want to have to go out and make money. But it was obvious that something had to change and it had to happen fast. And so, you know, I borrowed every penny to get these products and get these products out on people, but I knew the products worked and that people needed them. That I knew. And so my job was to help others understand the importance of these products, the value of these products, and why they would want them in their homes. And so that was what I did, and I started making money very quickly. I mean, I went silver the second month and started making my investment back. By the third month, I'd borrowed $3,500, and I'd made it back by the third month, and then started making a profit from then on forward. So you can make money fast in this business, but you've got to find the way to create interest. This is essential. The essential part of our business is creating interest and helping others see what we see. And so you've got to use all your tools, your skills, and your love to do that. And so that's what I recommend for people. Do it your way. You don't have to do it my way. I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. What I do care about is that you go silver, you go gold, you go platinum, you go diamond, because you're growing a team of inspired human beings that want to really change the trajectory of our world, that are willing to create a revolution in healthcare and in business. And the women are willing to become millionaires because it's time. It's time for us.
Sounds good. But also the part of that is not only out there, but we also need to want to grow ourselves. You talked about that the team we attract needs to be with people that really want to make these changes for themselves. Of course, we get attracted to the business because we want to help the world, do goods out there, but we also need to grow to be able to become the leaders to moving up.
I think we get very scared by the word leadership, and I think we have very odd ideas about what leadership is. Leadership is not telling people what to do. Leadership is not a hierarchical system where you're better than somebody else. I believe leadership is all about following. The better follower you are of your own innate truth and of spirit, the better the leadership will happen. You know, there's a lot of wonderful books on leadership that are on very different, where it's really looking at it in a different way, in a different paradigm. And in our business, you know, a lot of it is inspiring and helping others, of course, and empowering them and helping them see the brilliance in themselves that they can't always see. So we are growing, but I would just encourage women not to be afraid of this word leadership. Our network marketing is about connection. Can you connect to others and help and inspire them? If you feel you can do that, and you get the focus off yourself and onto others, it's going to happen, and it's going to grow. Because once you're in, and you have the products yourself at home and you're using them to keep your family healthy, it's not about you anymore, in a way. You really have to set the ego to the side. And the more you set the ego to the side and surrender to the spirit and say, you know what, use me, you know, whatever your cosmology is, you know, universe, use me, God, use me to help and bless this world, you will be used, and you're going to be busy, but not because your ego is trying to control it, or the ego is trying to think, well, I'm going to become a leader. You know, that's just, it can be such an off-putting, frightening thing when you know, to say, oh, I don't know how to be a leader. I want to be a leader. Then what's a leader? And women just shoot themselves in the foot that way. You know, it's like, let it go, forget it, let the ego to the side. Go out there and make a splash. Be yourself and go be magnificent in the world. Don't be shy. Don't hold back. Don't hide your light. Shine. And you know what? When you shine, some people are not going to like it. They're not. They're going to be jealous. They're going to be envious. They're going to be snide. They're going to try to tear you down. Don't worry about that. They are not your constituents. They're not the ones you're serving. You are serving those who want to shine as much as you want to shine, and know that they deserve to shine, and that they have the self-worth and the self-love to allow themselves to shine. That's really the human, that's the growth, is to fall in love with yourself. Fall in love with yourself and let yourself have this. Let yourself be magnificent in your spirit sense, not in an ego sense. It's a very different thing.
It just sounds so easy when you're saying it. It's just like, ah, yeah. So let's just go do it then, and shine, step up, and enjoy. I also think we need to enjoy being able to shine.
Yes, absolutely. David Hawkins says in his book, Power versus Force, he says, you know, to co-create, which is what we're doing, we're co-creating with each other right here, right now. We're co-creating with our teams. We're co-creating with spirit. In order to co-create, you have to really come from a high vibration. And a high vibration, the highest vibrations are love, joy, and peace, peacefulness. And that when you come from those high vibrations, it's very attracting. People want to be with you and around you. The low vibrations are doubt, shame, guilt. They're the very lowest.
And we don't need to talk about those, because just get us depressed.
Well, and I think a part of that, you know, is to also just let go of the burdens, you know, and a huge thing I see, and something I learned through this, is that one of the key components is forgiveness. It's forgiveness, particularly of our parents. Once we really forgive our parents, we can, it's like we get our wings back and we can really fly. Until we forgive our parents, we are pulled down by the burden of that, the burden of resentment, the burden of feeling victimized, the burden of all those things. But the soul is invincible. The soul is invincible. The soul and the spirit, they cannot be victimized. It's only the ego that holds on to all those stories. So it's really it's like shaking it off like an old raincoat that you don't need anymore. And really forgiving your parents and blessing them and knowing they did the very best they could. And, you know, and if you're a parent, you know too that you fail and fall as much as you do great things, you mess up too, and that's part of the human nature, right? So to forgive oneself as well, that when we fail, just to forgive yourself. Okay, I failed. All right, it's a new day. Let's go. Let's be better today. Let's go further today. Let's shine more today. And I find that the two key things is people, if they forgive their parents and they surrender to spirit, and they do the work, they get out there in action every single day, helping people, doing rollouts, lending product, loving people, showing them a new way in the world to create a magnificent life for themselves and their families, then it will work. Absolutely, it will work. And it's very simple. What we do is very simple. It's not complicated at all.
Great. Time is flying, but I have one final question, and that's what a lot of people are struggling with, and it's always the same question. But what should I say? And we talked a little bit about that, but it's like, how do you attract these people? What do you say to them to make them follow you?
Well, the best book I ever read on prospecting was a book called The Horse Whisperer by Monty Roberts, who learned how to train wild mustangs naturally without any kind of force or whatever. And he talks a lot about link up, that you become a great follower. So I I would say if somebody says what to say, I would say not much. Not much. I don't say much. I don't say much. I may ask a few questions, not too many, not peppering them with a bazillion questions where they feel like I'm suddenly an interrogator. That's not very nice. But just, you know, a question here and there, and then listening and asking another question around that and listening. And I would say I listen about 85 to 90% of the time and speak about 10% of the time. And I speak when it's time to speak and not before. Of course, right now you're hearing me speak because you're asking me questions, and of course that's this call. But when I'm with people, I'm just getting to know them and just really caring about them, about their lives, and finding out what they love and what's working and what's not working, but just in a very gentle manner, in a very, you know, just creating a safety, a trust, because I believe network marketing is built on trust. And if you don't trust me, you're not going to stay with me anyway. You're not going to stay with Nikken anyway. So, I mean, if there's not trust built, then what? You know, what's the point? So I think we have such an incredible gift to bring our world. It's the greatest gift I've ever seen to bring our world. It really is, which is why I do it. It's why I love it. It's why I never get tired of it. It's why I'm excited to sponsor a new executive yesterday, because I see great things for her in her life. If she chooses it, can I do it for her? No. Can I support her and hold her hand? Yes. I say to people, I'll run with you if you run, but I'm not going to carry you on my back. I'm not going to be calling you every day to see what you've done to build your multi-million-dollar business today. But I will be with you, and I'll be like a guardian angel at your side, and I will run with you if you run, like the wind. We'll run together to be free. And that's the joy of it. So it's not about telling others what to do. It's not about controlling others. It's certainly not about managing others. It's about taking on your life and being free and loving our world into greatness and allowing yourself to have that too.
Fantastic. It was just like keeping on, just like more and more questions coming up, but we'll have to wait with them for another call. Then we'll just have to put you on again. So I will think we're going to round this up. Or what do you say, Jannicke?
Yes, well, the thing is managing to do that. Julie, you have so much to say, and, you know, on so many different points, everything from where does energy come from, that, you know, we have to start with ourselves, that from eating well, exercising, and so on. And you talked about energy and that we're moving energy, and also the Nikken technology is all about, they're all about energy, so, and components of nature. I also like you said we are in a creative business, and you know, the art of living, that's what we're really in, but we need to commit to releasing ourselves from where we are to be creative, because a lot of people are conditioned according to where they came from. Might be family, might be other circumstances that have happened to them throughout life. But it shouldn't stop them. We've had people before saying that, you know, we should just get out of that, and like you were saying, out of our heads and into our hearts, and if we know what we want to do, then we can really get to doing that. It is, though, also that we have to take the business seriously, and by a lot of people it's done just on a, what can we call it, as a, well, part-time business can still be taken seriously, but if it's just done on the basis, I'll try, I'll see what it's like, then we won't get anywhere. So we have to love this business, and we have to know that we're co-creating really with other people, because unless we work with other people, we're getting nowhere. This is a people business, and for women, you know, we're brilliant at networking, and we love doing that, and we love inspiring and being with people and so on, and we can use all of this, just being focused and committed and using our skills in multitasking. So spend the time right, as you were saying, or talking something about, and let me just have a little bit of a think, because you had so much that you talked about. Yeah, you also talked about this with finding our internal connection to ourselves. And we need to know how to inspire ourselves daily. We can't expect that from somebody else. It has to come from within. And then lead by example to inspire others to do the same. Which is true, because if we don't have energy, like you talked about, how are people going to be attracted to us? People are attracted to others who shine and have a lot of energy. So also this thing of, stop the negative focus. We can choose what we want to cut out and what should come in. That's our choice. It's not other people's choice, really. So go for that and be true to ourselves. And in being that, we get the tribe that we want anyway, and we can expand our tribe. So that's what we should do. And I like what you're saying, that this case of what do we do for our products, as in you lend out, and when people try a car, they test drive it because they want to see what it's like, and that's what we should have with our products, that let people test drive them. These are high-tech products. It is not the average thing, and not easy for people to know what it is. So that way of being generous, but also in other ways, if we are generous, then we will also receive back, as you mentioned, and that's how it works in all aspects of life, really. But we have to do it in such a way that, what works for us. And you talk a little bit in the end about leadership and what that is, and that you meant it's about following. It's about empowering yourself and then also empowering others. If we are good followers, then we can become good leaders. We've had other mentioning that on other webinars before, so I think that's a very good point. And yes, network marketing is about connecting with others. We have to shine and we have to grow, listen, and we have to care about other people, because that's how we create our trust. And after we've done that, then we can run with those who want to run. So I think that's great what you've been saying, Julie, and it's been wonderful to have you on. Charlotte and I, we also are always so lucky to have an inspiring conversation ahead of the webinars, but at least you get, to share a lot of wonderful ideas and so on during the webinar. So thank you very much for that. And as always, this webinar will be recorded, and the recording will be made available through the Royal Alliance's YouTube site. But you can go in on the Royal Alliance website and find the links from there. Also to the up-and-coming webinars the next months. And if you want to share information out with people, all of you there, then you can do that. Send them the link. And then stay tuned for the next Global Women in Power webinar. Information will be sent out to you as it has been before. So, Julie, thank you very much for being on. And
and also just want to say to all the women out there that join us on the Facebook page at the royalalliance.com. There's a link directly to the web page or the Facebook page, so you can go in there as well. So please do that.
And share information. We've shared some information from the events in Austin and in Stuttgart, where Charlotte and I both went. We had a wonderful time there, meeting up with a lot of people. So, there is information shared there, and we're getting all kinds of information from people. So it's wonderful, the networking. And
yeah, you were fabulous.
Thank you so much, Julie.
You guys are wonderful. I love what you're doing. I'm so proud of you and so grateful. Thank you so much for putting this all together for all of us women. And it's just terrific. And anything I can do to help you both to build your businesses, I'd be more than delighted to do it.
Thank you very much.
And actually, I'm going to end this a little bit different than we normally do. If it's going to work, just bear with me just for a second, see if you can hear it.
I can hear it. That's Rihanna.
Exactly.
Diamonds in the Sky.
Oh, it's great.
I just thought that that was the perfect song for tonight's topic. We need to shine, and we are diamonds, and we're going to the top, up amongst the stars. So go to YouTube and listen to this song. Let us get you inspired, and let's see you all on the stage.
Yes,
Everyone
definitely.
Shining.
And before that, have a great evening and also a great week in, getting around to shining. Everybody. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks for now.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye, everyone. Many blessings.